Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. It's the big one. It's Liverpool, it's Manchester United, it's Anfield. Oh yes, after an international break, one where Sadio Mane got injured. I'm here for the Starting 11 predictions show. Of course, trying to predict what Jurgen Klopp is going to field as his team on Saturday lunchtime in the biggest game of the season thus far. Liverpool, Manchester United, it doesn't get any bigger than this. We hate them, they hate us. This is the side that I think are going to beat Manchester United this Saturday. We're going to start it with Simon Mignolet in goal. I think that Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to sit this one out. I think it's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold. We saw how Trent played at Old Trafford. It was his first big game last season. He did well, but Martial had him a couple of times. I think we're going to go for the solidity, hopefully, of Joe Gomez. In the centre, I think it's going to be Joel Matip, and I'm hoping that it's going to be Dejan Lovren alongside him. At left back, I think Alberto Moreno is the guy who's going to get the nod at left back. Midfield, lots of talk in the office about what midfield Jurgen's going to play. Is Phil Coutinho going to play in that withdrawal midfield role? Is he not? I'm not sure. I think Jordan Henderson is going to start in the sixth position, as he always tends to do. I think he's going to be partnered with Gini Wijnaldum and a little bit of steel from Emre Can. This is an area of the pitch. They've got Pogba out. They've got Fellaini out. We're looking at probably Herrera playing in there. And I think this is an area of the field now where Liverpool can dominate and hopefully take a solid foundation to win the game from these three. Because whatever you think about the three of them, we've played better and got better results so far this season when these three have played in the games together. You know, they started off slow. They built into a bit of form, ending with the Arsenal game. 4-0, all that, absolutely brilliant. Now, the question is, who's going to come in for Sadio Mane? Is it going to be Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain? My money's on Phil Coutinho coming in. I think Mo Salah starts on the right-hand side, and I think Bobby Firmino gets the nod up front over Daniel Sturridge. But again, you know what? We might be in a position where Daniel Sturridge comes in here, Roberto Firmino might drop into the left wing position, and Phil Coutinho could drop in there. Equally, you've got Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to come in here. He could go in there. Roberto Firmino starts up top. And, you know, I don't think Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is going to start. I'll put the team out that I thought it was going to be. But I do think these two guys are going to start on the bench, certainly, along with probably Lloris Karius, Ragnar Klavan, James Milner, and Dom Solanke with Trent Alexander-Arnold, if that is 7. It is. So there you go. Again, we've got options off the bench now. I mentioned there that I didn't think Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain would start this game. I wouldn't be against it. I want to give this guy a little bit of confidence. I'm just not sure that this is the game, but it might be because he might come in fired up, wanting to prove something, playing at Anfield in front of a raucous crowd, one that's baying for blood, one that just wants to beat the Man United fans, and then our team beat theirs. It could be the perfect game for him, and if he does start, we've got to get behind him. He's not been at Liverpool long enough to be judged a flop. We paid a lot of money. He's a good footballer. He can go out there and get things on the pitch for us, do good things. He certainly can. But I think the safe bet is this team. This is the team that I'm going for. I'm going, of course, you know we're backed by Ladbrokes for the season. The bet £5, get £20 in free bet offer still on. Terms and conditions, ladbrokes.com, link in the description if you want to do that, if you fancy a flutter on this game. I have actually picked my first goal scorer already, and I'm going to go Mo Salah, and the odds at time of filming, obviously they can fluctuate with the markets and stuff, are 11-2. So look, roughly 5.5-1 on first goal scorer Mo Salah. I think that's good odds. I think if he comes up against, if it's Ashley Young, if it's Davy Blind, something like that, I think that they'll fear him and that ball over the top. Like Ashley Young, you know, as a former winger and stuff like that, he'll want to bomb forward. I think he's got the beating of him there. You know, positionally, I think Salah might find some space if Young's to start. Equally, if Blind's to start, I think he's got him on, he's just got his legs, you know what I mean? He's just much faster than him. And I expect that could be an area for us to exploit, which is why I'm going for Mo Salah, 11-2, first goal scorer. I'm going to get into the comments sections right now. Tom, have we got anything good to start me off?
Yeah, Evan Donlevy says, why don't you think Robertson should play?
Quite honestly, I think Moreno's done enough to keep his place. Robertson's a guy that I want to see more of course, but so far this season, Alberto Moreno, for me, has been a little bit better than Andy Robertson. Andy Robertson's got a great ball in. You know, he can get forward, he can defend as well. I just think that Moreno's playing at a slightly higher level. I don't think there's much in it, if I'm perfectly honest. I really don't. And, you know, if Robertson were to start, I wouldn't be bothered in any way, shape or form. I just think that the lineup the Klopp's likely to go with, it's not my lineup, remember, is Alberto Moreno. And actually, do you know what, I've just said that, this probably would be my lineup as well this time. Normally I would have a little bit of disagreement. So Drin, So, Sholi, Ox could prove himself with the absence of Mane. I think Chan, Hendo, Coutinho midfield should be, and up front, Salah, Bobby and Ox. And do you know what, mate, Drin, I can't disagree with you. You know, I ummed and ahed on my lineup whether I'd like to see Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain or Coutinho out there, and it's difficult because if Herrera comes in, Herrera will be put on a man-to-man job on Phil Coutinho, I feel, and it still could be that way. And if Herrera is playing and he is told to man-mark Coutinho, then having him and somebody that can swap positions, like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, you know, the difficulty when you're man-marking somebody is you've got to follow them all over the pitch. Now, if Herrera is told to man-mark Phil Coutinho in this example, right, Phil Coutinho's playing left of the midfield, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's playing the left-hand side. Phil Coutinho just moves out, puts himself onto the wing, absolutely fine, no problem. Herrera drags out into that space. Who goes with Chamberlain? Does Herrera stay in and leave his man-marking job? And does Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain get a little bit more time and a little bit more space? So it's a very clever tactical thing. Like, Herrera's done a number on a lot of good midfielders over the last sort of 18 months, 2 years. And if he is man-marking Phil Coutinho and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain starts, I think that could be a real advantage to Liverpool. So it's a great point, and one that I've ummed and ahed over. But yeah, I did just settle on what I thought Klopp would do. And, you know, as I said, I do back that up myself. But I can definitely see why you'd like to see that. And for me, it's not about... Well, it is about Oxlade-Chamberlain proving himself, but it's also having that versatility to counter what Mourinho might do with Ander Herrera and the man-marking and stuff. So really great question. Have you got another one for me, Tom?
Apple, and then loads of numbers, says, what about Milner? He can dominate the midfield.
Yeah, this is something Paul brought up actually on the Uncensored Match build-up show. Like, James Milner could come in here, and you never know, you might see it more like this, you know what I mean? I'd imagine Milner would be over to that left-hand side. We're probably expecting Manchester United, in fairness, to probably park the bus with Mourinho. But, you know what? I can see that happening because James Milner's a calm presence. You need a guy who's experienced, who understands the situation, who understands the gravity of the game of football that he's playing in. You know, Liverpool, Manchester United, there's no bigger on the English calendar, and having someone of Milner's experience could be beneficial to this Liverpool side as well. So if you've got another for us, Tom, let's go.
Tarek says, can Gomez handle the pace of Martial or Rashford?
Interesting point. Honestly, probably not the pure pace of it, but defensively his positioning, I feel, is much better than Trent Alexander-Arnold. You know, Trent does have a little tendency to step forward, a little bit like Moreno was doing, but nowhere near as bad. You know, and that's understandable. He's a young kid, Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's playing in an unfamiliar position. Now, if he's just slightly ahead of him and you know, he's given those wingers that space to run into, I feel that it might be a struggle for him. Whereas I think Gomez, he's still quick, he's not slow. I just don't think there's many players out there that are as fast as Martial or Rashford. I think with his defensive position and hopefully Joe Matip talking to him throughout the game, that might be a better option for us. But again, you know, these are good problems. You know, we've been in bad form, and yet it seems like the comments are full of like, oh, we can do this and we can do this, and that says to me that the squad's good. And after we've been in such poor forms, apologies, then to still think about that with your squad. Well, is Oxlade-Chamberlain going to come in? We hadn't had anyone talking about Sturridge yet, but I'm sure people will be in the comments talking about Sturridge. You know, Robertson for Moreno. This is good. This means we've got a good squad, and the difference between the first and second team's not too great. I still can't wait to see Nathaniel Klein back, if I'm honest. But there we go. Have you got another one for me, mate?
DVL Elite with a different one. Drop Gomez for Milner. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know about that, because it stands to reason that James Milner can play right back if he can play left back. But because I've not seen it, I can't predict that that's going to happen. Now, to me, there's no reason why he couldn't. But if you're talking about, you know, we were worried a minute ago about the pace of Martial and Rashford, then Milner is definitely a little bit slower than Gomez even. And will his positioning and pace, his position's good, but is his pace just that little bit is he a little bit too slow to recover? I don't know, honest answer. I would trust James Milner myself to do it, because I trust him with anything on the football field, because he's that good a footballer and he can do anything. And as I said, he understands the situation. He's been in big games. He's been in the Manchester derby before, you know what I mean? So I would trust him to do it, but I can't predict the Klopp's going to do it. Have you got one more for me, mate?
Rahul, can Matip deal with the physicality of Lukaku?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, Lukaku is one of those players where people have a perception of him as a very physical striker and stuff like that. Now, he's a very good footballer and he is physical and he is strong, but it's those runs in behind and it's the lethal finishing that make Lukaku a step above most strikers in this league. I am a little bit worried about Manchester United. I've been worried since Tuesday for this game. I'm nervous as hell. I think every Liverpool fan would be. What's fired me up and got that fire burning in the pit of my stomach is I was speaking to Gaz, and the show's live now on our YouTube channel from Full Time Devils, and he's so supremely confident. And I just thought to myself, I hate that. I hate that so much because, you know, in fairness to him, he's got a reason to be confident. Manchester United are in great form. They're good football inside at the moment. They've got a good manager. They've got good players. You know, they are what they are, is what I'm trying to say. But them being so confident for these games, like I'm never confident for these games, and I don't think they are, generally speaking. And it's going to be, I don't know, if that overconfidence seeps into the side, are they going to think Liverpool are a poor side? Listen, we've not played well over the first couple of months of the season, but we're not too far behind, you know, where we want to be, and that's challenging for top four, unfortunately, this season. Like, I wanted us to win the title this year, and we're 7 points behind, but we win this game at the weekend, and we're 4 points behind Manchester United all of a sudden, and these are the guys who are the form team in the league with Manchester City and stuff, so the gap's not that great. I think we're 7 games into the Premier League season, 7 or 8, 7 games in. I think we are into the Premier League season thus far. 7 points can quickly become 4, 4 can quickly become 1, and then all of a sudden we're right where we want to be. We're on the tails. We can overtake the Mancs and put them back in their place, which would be absolutely lovely, to be fair. So I'm going to go back into the comment section now. Salah is king, says Sarah Smith. Chip says hashtag spaghetti. King K says Klopp out, hashtag Klopp out. Yeah, I'm not really sure about that, to be honest. This has died down, quite frankly, and I don't know where to go. I don't know where to answer. It's your comment, mate. If you want to leave a little bit more as to the reasons why, then do. But Chip says hashtag Klopp in is right. Danzit's on Klopp should play centre-back. I think if you were to speak to Jurgen Klopp, he'd tell you he wasn't a very good centre-back. And he'll freely admit that. But then if we got very good centre-backs, who knows? And he's probably a little bit older now, Jurgen, than the others. So maybe we're going to start with these two. And I'm not sure Klopp's in the playing squad anyway. But thank you for your comment. Magnus King, hashtag Payback Nudes, question mark. We've not had one of them in ages, actually, have we? Oxen Moreno as wing-back, says Lewis Tizard. Oh, my word. Could you think of anything worse? Sorry. Like the wing-back thing's absolutely fine, no problem with that. But throwing more of our crap centre-backs into the pitch, not a good idea. Not a good idea, not a good idea at all. Klavan getting beasted for pace against this fast Manchester United side. You know what? If it happens and we win, I'll eat my words, and I live to be proved wrong by Liverpool Football Club, especially when I'm having a little bit of a pop at them and stuff, but nah, I can't see it happening. Num and Coutinho will not play good. He needs a transfer. He doesn't need a transfer. He might want a transfer, but right now he is playing well. You know, since he's come back into the side, 3 goals since he's come back into the side, maybe. You know, I mean, really? That's a guy that's playing well. He likes the big games. He enjoys the big games. He's good in the big games. He scores in the big games. He turns up for the big games. Brilliant. Let's just hope that big flight back from over in South America hasn't done him and Bobby Firmino too much, because with Mane's injury and their long flights, could be difficult for us, but I expect us to come out the gates fast, hit Manchester United hard, get the first goal, Mo Salah 11-2, Ladbrokes, you know it, and then force Manchester United to come out, stop parking the bus, hit them on the counter-attack. Yes, that's how Liverpool win this game for me. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. I'm so pumped up for it now. Like, I'm nervous, I'm excited, I want to beat them. It's exactly how you should be feeling going into a massive, massive game. Matty 1892, Chris, are you FSG in or FSG out yet? I've never been FSG in, if I'm being totally honest. I would never campaign for FSG to stay. I think, as I've said before over the podcasts and all that type of stuff, I've said it. I think the squad's underinvested. I think they've made bad decisions in the transfer market. I think we've handled ourselves really poorly in some situations. We've handled the press officer side of things really poorly in other situations. But they've done some great stuff as well. You know, the commitment to Kirby and getting Klopp what he wants and putting the first team with the youngsters to develop them as a core players for this football club, I think is absolutely fantastic. The fact that they've redeveloped the main stand, brilliant. The stuff that they've seemed to have got more wrong for me is the playing side, and unfortunately the playing side is where it's at. You know, that's what we want to see more than anything. Now, and here's the thing, I don't care if FSG stay or go at the moment, and maybe that's an indication of my true feelings. If you said to me, this guy's coming in with all of this money and all of this ambition, and he's going to back the manager for the next 10 years and do everything that he wants, I'd go, brilliant, come in, here's Liverpool, take it, do what you're going to do. I'm fine with that. That's what I want to see. Can FSG take us to the league title? Maybe. Will they? Maybe. Would I be much happier with someone who's running a club like Manchester City's being run? Of course. Does that mean I'm FSG out? Not quite. And I see the arguments, and, you know, we're involved in it on Twitter, on YouTube, on our podcast, and we talk about it all the time, but I remember Hicks and Gillette's reign at Liverpool. I remember how bad it was, and we took to the fucking picket line and we campaigned against them. And I'm in the Dear Mr. Hicks video where Liverpool fans got together to make something as a letter, an open YouTube letter video to Hicks and Gillette, and spoke to them and told them the reasons why we didn't want them in our club anymore. And to be quite honest with you, I'm nowhere near that yet. And, you know, we wore the Standards Corrupted shirt. If any of you even remember the Standard Corrupted campaign, it was a black shirt, said Standards Corrupted instead of Standard Chartered, and it had the two snakes symbolising Hicks and Gillette. And we wore them, and we wore them proudly, and we marched at Anfield with Spirit of Shankly, and we've been there and we've done it, and we did it the right way. And I'm not saying the FSG out campaign now, we're doing it the wrong way. I'm really not. I back their opinions. I can understand a lot of the points that they make. But what I will say is it's not that bad, and that's why I'm not campaigning for FSG out. And listen, I've said it just then, and I truly believe it. If I really for 1 second thought that FSG weren't in it for the football club and the team to go and win something, then I would be there in a heartbeat. But I do think they're trying their best at the moment, and I don't know whether they've got the money, but that doesn't mean to say that I'm going to campaign for them to go out. And I hope I've answered your question as best I can with literally no time to think about it. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the show, don't forget to give us a like on YouTube. I'm just going to do something a little bit different towards the end of the show. I've talked about it a few times. I've talked about this new app, Volley, that we're doing, right? And here it is. I'm going to take a photo right now. Apologies for that. Bang. Right. Okay. And then I'm going to upload it to Volley. Leave me your starting 11s on Volley. It's VOLE. I'm going to upload the photo as we speak right now. My starting 11's going to be up there. Leave me your starting 11s on the Volley app. We've got about 1,600 people following us now. It's a really cool football app. It's football, Instagram, Twitter-y type of thing. It's great, actually. There's a real nice community of Liverpool fans on there thus far. I'm enjoying it. I think you will too. Get over there, download Volley, and get involved with the Redmen TV. It's at the Redmen TV. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure, as it always is. Thanks for anyone commenting. Thanks for watching on demand. Like the video, subscribe to the Redmen, and come on, you Reds. Allez les Rouges!